Let's be revolutionary. Yeah, we can be so much more. Let's be more than ordinary.
Hey, I am Lee Wilson, and this is Focus Forward Business Design. So I wanted to touch on something that seems to be coming up quite a bit. And I mean, let's face it, it always comes up. It's, all about productivity. But something that we thought was going to change that hasn't changed, and that is people working from home. It kind of seems like that's going to be the wave of the future, as these businesses are realizing that they can have employees working from home and they are just as efficient or even more efficient than they were in the office, and of course there's less overhead. But then I hear a lot of times, well, it's really hard for me to work at home, or I'm not set up to work at home, or I get all these distractions like laundry and kids and all those other things. So I wanted to touch this whole month on the subject of productivity. But for this week, I wanted to jump in and give you just a few little pointers on how to maybe work at home a little bit better. Because, like I said, this is probably not going to change. The first thing that you need to realize, though, is that you have to have clarity on what your goals are. Whether these are your weekly goals, your monthly goals, your quarterly goals, your annual goals, which you should have all of those set. Those don't change, whether you're working at home or you're working in an office. You have to have clarity or you will not move forward. So again, that doesn't change. And it takes a lot of mental strength to work from home. I know that. So it's really important that you know exactly what your goals are for the week to get done. The rules are the same at home as they were at the office. Okay? It's common sense. So you need to make sure you've got those yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly goals. Because without a goal, you don't have any path. There has to be a clear target. What must happen this week? What are we after this week? What are the 10 things that you must get done? Because with no clarity, we have no change. The workplace doesn't matter. Okay? You've got to have a Friday finisher list. What does that mean to you? Well, I want you to know on Monday what has to happen this week. These are non-negotiable things. They have to be completed for the week. Because if you do this every week, your quarter, your year, it's all going to fall into place. You're going to be absolutely shocked. But if you're just working off of a to-do list or you're just randomly going, then yeah, you're right. Those distractions at home, they're really tough to compete against. So, next thing, I want you to block time. And I know you've heard about block time. And people say, oh, it seems so restrictive. But it's not. Because what I'm talking about is I want every project that is on that, let's say that top 10 for the week, that area has to be blocked on your calendar. So for example, let's say that you are writing a new course. You need to block out time to do that. Block out time to check your social media. Block out time to check your email. Block out time that is uninterrupted time. Every project is blocked because that gives you structure. That will actually gain you the freedom that you think you're not going to get if you block this time. It's really not as constraining as you might think it is. You're looking at 35 to 50-minute time frames. All the high-performance studies show this, that if you can block out that amount of time, you will succeed at an extremely high level. Don't do anything else but that project. No email, no social media. The more committed to this that you can be, the higher level of success that you are going to have in your overall picture. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is taking breaks. Those hourly breaks. You need to be able to take a break like every 50 minutes, maybe it's 75 minutes for you. You'll know what works for you. Take a short break. Get water, get food, do a little stretching, whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't have to be a long break, 2 to 5 minutes. It's been proven with millions and millions of high producers that they take a break on the average every 52 minutes. Again, it doesn't matter how long that break is. It can be very short, but pushing through doesn't let you recharge and you get brain burn. Nothing great comes from extended work. You need to be able to reset. All right, next, family scheduling. Bring everyone on board with the weekly schedule to be able to know what might come up or who needs support. This sets up everyone in the family for success at a higher level. You need to know what could go weird and how you can step in and support somebody. But we're talking about working at home. So there are kids, there are dogs, there's spouses, whatever. So there needs to be some rules here for interruption. I'm just going to call them interruption rules for lack of a better word. When's it okay to interrupt? And how does that look? Now I'm talking about at home, but honestly, if you're in an office, this shouldn't look any different. You still need to have those rules in place. Set the boundaries. How should they engage with you when they must interrupt you? Okay, those rules have to be consistent though, and they have to be followed, and you have to train people. You're not going to have to tell them once or twice. You're going to have to tell them 30, 40, 50 times, especially if you're dealing with kids and spouses. Okay, you have to set those boundaries though. They know that from this time to this time, you're going to be writing, and you're not going to come out of that room. But don't worry, you're okay, and then you'll take your break, and then they'll get to see you. All right, next thing, and this is really important when you work at home, is meal prep. When you work corporate America or maybe in an office, you may have a lunch hour that's kind of set, so you know that you're going to lunch, and sometimes you go with coworkers, whatever. That lunch thing is kind of already built into your brain. People that work at home tend to work longer hours. That's just how it is. And a lot of that might be because you take a break, you take the kids to soccer, you do whatever, but you tend to work longer. So it's really important that you have things already prepared. You've got some healthy options, because what's going to happen at home is that you're looking at the clock and it's going to be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock, and you're going to realize you have not eaten. And so you open the fridge, there's nothing in there, and so you turn around and eat the crap in the pantry. You know you do it. We all do it. You must do that meal prep so that when you open the fridge, there's some healthy options in there. Do this on Sunday and stock up on the healthy stuff so you feel better. Diet and sleep are the wins that anyone can do, and they can impact you more than anything else that you do in your week. All right, here's a big one, and I'm going to get some pushback on this, but scheduling your email and social media time. It's so easy for us to step in and let everybody else's agenda or their social media activities rule our lives. Don't let this overtake your day. Schedule your time for social media so that the rest of your day is work and it's productive, reaching towards your goals. At home, it's so easy to get distracted and check the socials all day. Don't let it happen. It's so easy to abuse this at home. Think about it, 30 minutes a day. That equals almost a month of work days by the end of the year. Who can afford to lose a month of productivity time? That's going to set your goals so much further back. And for what? Probably nothing. Here's one I really like. A significant afternoon break. Because again, like we talked about, if you're working at home, you're probably working longer hours than you were if you were working in an office. So taking that large break in the afternoon, maybe up to an hour, hour and a half, take a walk, meditate, recharge, read, whatever you need to do is going to allow you to work later if you need to do that. All right, do whatever you can do to schedule less meetings. We've all gotten in this Zoom meeting thing since the pandemic started, a year and a half ago, and now they're habits. We do all these meetings, but they're typically non-productive. And the important items get dropped as meetings are exhausting. So what you find happening, and especially at home when you're working from there, is you have a meeting and you're like, oh, okay, I'm done. You take a break, you go change your laundry, you do whatever. And all those important things, especially if you don't have goals attached to them, they get pushed back. No, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, so try to keep those meetings to a minimum. The things that are crucial to get done, those are the things that are going to move you forward. Meetings should not matter and are not productive output. Email can typically suffice. And again, I know I'm going to get pushback on this, but Lee, I don't see anybody anymore. We don't get together. That's fine. Save that for your social time. But as far as what you're doing during the day, more meetings does not equal more productivity. And I know that if you look back on your calendar for the last 90 days, look at all the meetings that you had that were Zoom meetings or phone meetings or whatever, you will find that you had very little productivity as a result of those meetings. Okay? We know at home it's really easy to get sucked into that, and then you digress after that meeting. Focus on your weekly goals so that you will know what has to be done by Friday. So these are just a few things that if you're still working at home, and that may be an extended thing for you, it may be something that is still going to be just, for a little bit longer, but you've got to have a system. And I know it's really tough because some of you are maybe working in an apartment where you don't have an office. You've got like a corner of the dining room table, and I'm telling you to set boundaries on interruptions. You can do this. Look back through these, listen to this again, write down these tips. This is your future. These are your goals that you're setting. These are the things that are going to get you excited. So you have to make it work. And it can be a great thing because you do get to have more interaction with your family. You do get to be at home where you're comfortable. So make it a win. Don't make it a negative thing. So if you like this, please share this, hit like, follow us, and all this month we're going to have productivity tips, some tools, some different things for you to utilize so that you can move toward your goals further and faster than ever in the past. And remember that at the end of the day, it is always your choice to focus forward.
Let's be rebels.